Good morning, guys. Hope we are all well and happy. Sun is out. I am happy. You can see by my face I had a good check-in, so that's always a plus and a great start to the new week. So obviously you will have seen my check-in last week. I was kind of happy with how everything's going. Got my check-in back and no changes. Luke seems to be happy. Weight's dropping quite consistently, averaging around a kilo a week, which is really good, a really good rate of loss. So got my check-in back and I was like, thank God, because my rest day food is so low that I was like, I thought he was going to change things anyway, and I was like expecting it. So when he didn't, I was like, oh, it's such a nice surprise. I've also, don't know if I've said, I can't remember, prep brain, honestly, but I booked my show, so I'm officially, I'll be 8 weeks out on this Sunday, which is really scary because where has the time gone? Let me tell you, this will be week 12, so it's been 12 weeks and it's just gone like that. So really scary. Another exciting week. Obviously no changes, but I'm going to Ultraflex again because I loved it so much. I just wanted to go again. Like I've said, it's really good to try new gyms, explore a little bit, have a bit of fun, not have any numbers, meet new people, speak to people, see other people in prep. So while I have a bit of luxury of free time, I'm going to go down on the Thursday. So yeah, fingers crossed we'll get into the 63s, and then not long left, guys. Guys, I hope we are well. So as you can see by my face, I am so happy. So doing my Stairmaster 30 minutes this morning, and in my check-in last week Luke was like, we might have a refeed, message me on Friday, I'll see what your weight's doing, and then we'll see what I want to do. So I didn't really get my hopes up. I was like, it's fine if we want to dig. I'm not really gonna like get my hopes up in case he says no. And I haven't really been that food focused, so I haven't really been like, oh my god, food. However, sent in my check-in this morning, weight's gone down, we've dropped another kilo, so I'm 63.3 this morning, which is a new low. Sent in my check-in and he said we can get a refeed. So honestly, I'm so happy. It finally feels like my hard work has paid off, and it'd be so good to just like finally be able to get a pump and just see what I look like full, and finally have some energy. So plan of action is 120 grams of protein, so he's pulled back protein a little bit to obviously allow for a little bit more carbs. 450 grams of carbs. That's like peak off season food. And then 50 grams of fats. So fats have stayed the same, proteins down a little bit, carbs have like just over doubled. So I'm just so happy. So I am just in Tesco, so I'm going to take you with me to do a bit of a food shop, because obviously my fridge consists of chicken and veg. So I'm going to get a bit of carbs. I'm just going to obviously stick to the main carb sources I've been eating anyway: potatoes, rice, bagels, cereal, cream of rice, oats, because I'm not going to fuck around with squares bars and stuff. Yes, I would love a squares bar, but I'd rather like have 20 grams of carbs elsewhere than fuck around with squares bars, and I haven't had them in a while, and I didn't want to sort of like stunt my digestion or like risk the chance of like, I don't know, I just don't want to like put foods in that I haven't had in a while. So just sticking to all my usual food sources, but just having more of them. So I'm very excited. So I'm going to take you along with me. I'm going to document how this refeed's going. I'll put up my before check-in photos, and then I'll obviously do an after. Hopefully I'll feel somewhat full. So very exciting. We are back from Tesco, and to be honest, I got there and I was like, you actually don't really need that much stuff, because I pretty much have everything in, just not a lot of it. Like I've got like 30 grams left of cereal, 1 potato. So anyway, I just thought I'd like re-up anyway, because I'm going to need a lot of things for like the next few days. The main thing I'm most excited about though is these. Now, if you don't know, get to know, because the macros in these are actually like pretty decent. Obviously like cereal's still in my diet, just not a lot of it, but it's low fat cereal. So in my off season I loved crunchy nut clusters, banging. However, I don't have the luxury of that now, so the cereal I've been going back and forth between is either Rice Krispies or these bad boys. Rice Krispies are a lot more voluminous because obviously they're tiny, so you get a lot more bang for your buck, whereas I thought I'd treat myself today. So these are the Chocos. For every 30 grams there's 23 grams of carbs, 0.7 grams of fat, so really low in fat, so they're actually really good. Then we got, obviously I've already had a sip, but I've literally been living off this flavoured water at the moment. I've been like changing up the flavours a little bit, because that's pretty much the only thing I can like switch between at the moment, what flavour water I can have. Got some tennis broccoli because I was all out anyway. Best veg in my opinion. Then got some bagels, obviously bagel thins, because I'd rather have like 2 bagels than 1. So I'm going to have them with 1 meal as well. I took out that bagel meal when Luke dropped food, because I used to have egg white omelette and a bagel. So now I can have a bagel. And then I got just some more dark chocolate that I needed, because I had that with like oats and cream of rice. Drop that on the floor. And then I got some potatoes, because I've got some left, but I don't think I've got enough, and they were reduced, so bargain. But yeah, that's literally everything I got. Wasn't actually that much. So it's not that exciting. I'm not, like I said, I'm not gonna like have the luxury of playing around with squares bars and saurine and whatever, because I'd rather just have more volume than have 1 squares bar. Because I don't know how food's gonna go down. Obviously I'm hungry for my meals, like I'm never full. So I don't know whether I'm going to like just be ravenous and like eat everything, or my stomach might have like shrunk so much to the point where like I actually might not be able to like, it might be actually a struggle to fit in that much food. Saying that, I never struggle with getting food in, let me tell you. So that's probably not going to be the case, but we'll see. So I'm going to go shower, make my first meal, drink my coffee. So I will see you later for my first meal. I am back, all showered, all fresh. So I'm preparing my pre and post meal, because I'm usually always in the gym, so I usually have my post meal after I train in the gym. So obviously I still track and stuff, so I've decided what I want to have pre and post. And I've decided I'm going to have 150 grams of oats, which is what I used to have pre-workout on like peak off season. And because I have the luxury of eating at home, I decided to have baked oats. So Here is 150 grams of oats in this bad boy. It's literally like bigger than my whole head. So these are like my baked oats, which I did. So I'm going to bang these in the air fryer and I'll give you a little bit of a close up. And then I'm just making my post, which is 150 grams of cream of rice. So it's a little bit sloppy. So I'm going to go mix this bad boy and I'll show you the after product of that as well. Here we have my baked oats. 150 grams of oats, 30 grams of whey, 100 grams of cherries, 20 grams of 90% dark chocolate and 10 grams of peanut butter. Then I've got a nice big black cup of tea. Then a pint of water or whatever it is. Lots of salt, and I'm gonna go and enjoy this because this just smells like heavenly. Don't get me wrong, like I'm probably still gonna be hungry after this refeed, like that is normal. The thing you gotta remember is like all the amount of food in the world is not gonna help fill you up. When you're so depleted, like you're gonna be hungry. It's gonna be normal. Like no amount of food is gonna solve all your problems and make the hunger go away. But obviously refeeds have their purpose, you know, they'll make me feel full, they'll help us like dig again. You just like push, pull, that's the whole game and stuff like that. So it'll just be exciting to see what I look like with an actual pump instead of just being like flat all the time, because obviously when you're on stage, like you're not going to be flat, you're going to be pumped, you're going to have peaked properly, stuff like that. So you cannot get attached to your physique when you're looking flat. Hence why I'm trying not to look at my physique now and be critical. I'm trying to just like emotionally detach from how I'm looking, not really like deep too much into it. Obviously I'm gonna have to look at myself for like posing purposes and stuff like that, but instead of getting fixated on, oh my god, I look flat, I'm losing muscle, just think, tick the boxes day to day. On stage you're gonna look like 10 times better. So yeah, I'm gonna stop waffling because I'm gonna go and eat this because I'm friggin' starving, and then we're gonna go and train upper. Just got back from the gym, had a really good session. Obviously I've only had one meal, so carbs aren't really going to take full effect with just one meal, but I did feel like a lot more energized. You know, I didn't feel like a zombie going into the session. Got a bit of a pump, but like I said, only one meal in, so it's not really going to do the world of good. It'll more so be tomorrow that I feel the energy and get a bit more of a pump, especially doing legs tomorrow. So I'm excited for that. But post-workout meal I made before, we have 150 grams of cream of rice, 50 grams of raspberries, 10 grams of dark chocolate and 10 grams of peanut butter with salt on top. I usually have whey with this meal, but because Luke's tapered down protein to only 120 grams, it's actually been really hard to try and like undershoot my protein. So I haven't had the luxury of having whey in this, which is fine because obviously the cream of rice taste is like flavored itself, so I don't need the whey. I'd rather have it with my other meal for my next meal. Carbs you just need, you know, for like energy and stuff. But yeah, I'm gonna go have this now. This is the cream of rice that I've been loving at the moment. I'm still playing around with like the volume and the consistency with this because it's a little bit watery, but the flavor of this is just banging. So if you don't know, get to know.
So go and fucking buy some. Lovely, thanks.
Right guys, we have woo, look at those bad boys. We have meal 3 going down. Bloody hell, you can tell how much energy I've got because I'm just like, whoa, hello, the world is a good place and I want to be alive. Meal 3 about to go down, which is 2 bagels, well, 2 bagel thins, so one's just in the toaster, 70 grams of chicken and 10 grams of peanut butter. The chicken is absolutely dire because obviously my protein, just drizzle in this. 3, gonna put 5 grams on the bagel so it's both even. Because obviously my protein's got lowered. Like I've actually really been struggling to go on, like, hit my 120, because usually I'm so used to getting 150 grams, and obviously you get like trace carbs from trace protein from the extra carbs. So like I'm like, shit, like 70 grams of chicken feels like nothing. Here is my next meal. So I've had a bit of that with it. Chicken, bagels, and a bit of this bad boy. I've just finished work, so now I'm sitting down to have my 4th meal, which is a really odd meal. Like usually I have like chicken and potato. However, because my protein would have been too high if I added more chicken, I've literally just got potatoes. So I have 400 grams of potatoes I just put in the air fryer. Then I've got a side of tennis stem broccoli. Call me weird, I don't know if it's a prep thing or what, but I don't like having broccoli with the roast potatoes because of, obviously it's a little bit wet. It makes the potatoes go soggy. And I like the potatoes nice and crispy. So I'm just going to dig into my potatoes and broccoli meal. Not complaining, I am happy because these are literally like chips. And then I just got a little bit of sugar-free tomato ketchup. And a nice big glass of water. Finishing up this beautiful day with my last meal, which is 150 grams of 0% fat Greek yogurt, 50 grams of raspberries, and 10 grams of dark chocolate. So you can see I've mixed up the dark chocolate, melted it on top, and because the raspberries are frozen, it's like solidified, so it's literally like chocolate chips. Not food obsessed, obviously. Then for the main event, 100 grams of Cocoa Pops Choco Rock thingies. So all I do is I sprinkle them on top of here, but I have them separate again because otherwise the cereal will go soggy in the yogurt. So I just sprinkle it on top, mix it, sprinkle it on top, mix it. And yeah, and then another big mug of black tea. I have like a decaf chamomile black tea thing jazz going on. So that is my full day of eating. So I'll list the macros on the screen, but it was 450 grams of carbs. Plan of action is tomorrow I'm going to check in with Luke before my cardio, see what he has to say. What he's either going to do is do the same again, or maybe like lower the carbs, or just go back to digging. But it's leg day tomorrow, so regardless of what happens, I'm excited to have a bit of energy going into legs tomorrow. You can already tell just by how I'm being, I have so much more energy. Like I've obviously Luke tapered down steps as well, and I'm only on 10k steps today, and I fucking got that so easy. I was like, yeah, I could do another 10k easy. So yeah, I will update you guys with the plan of action tomorrow, but I'll also post my check-in tomorrow morning on the screen so you can see the before and afters of flat versus full, and then we'll go from there. So stay tuned, fingers crossed it's another refeed. Please pray for me. I'm praying to the gods, please. My smiley face, what's happened. So Luke gave me a refeed again today. Checked in with him before cardio, was doing my cardio, and he was like, only 20 minutes today, and I was like, yes, get me off this fucking Stairmaster. So 20 minutes felt fucking easy considering I'm on 35 minutes a day. Steps are on 12,500, so only up from 10 So yeah, only up 2.5k, which is easy. I'm used to 17.5, so light work. Food's a little bit lower this refeed. So we're on 350 carbs instead of 450. Fats and protein have stayed the same. Scales this morning. So yesterday, pre-refeed, I was 63.3 kilograms. Today I woke up at 63.9, so only up 0.6. Visually, I am definitely looking a lot more full, a bit more like sharp, because obviously now the muscles are a little bit more popped, so you can see the definition a little bit more instead of just being flat. We have glutes today, best day of the week. So that'll be really, really good to just get a bit of energy in me, have a really good session, get a pump, see what I'm looking like full and pumped. So food's a little bit different because obviously carbs are a little bit lower today, but pre and post I've stayed the same. And they're only having 4 meals instead of 5. So the extra 100 grams of carbs, I've literally just taken out 1 meal. So that's the bagel meal, because I'd rather have more cereal, more oats and more cream and rice than a bagel. So I have this bad boy. So I have 150 grams of oats, 30 grams of whey, 20 grams of dark chocolate, 100 grams of blueberries, 10 grams of peanut butter, and obviously salt on top. So I'm going to go and eat that because I'm fucking starving. And then go and train glutes. Amazing glute session wrapped up. Honestly, it feels so good to actually get a pump, feel full, have energy. Like, even me speaking now, I'm like, oh my God, I'm not fucked. Feel unreal. So very well deserved post-workout meal. So same as yesterday, we had 150 grams of cream of rice, 50 grams of raspberries, 10 grams of dark chocolate, and 10 grams of peanut butter. No protein whey powder with it because obviously protein's tapered down, so I'd rather have it with my next meal, just like focus on having a lot of carbs. So I'm gonna go and scram this and die because I'm absolutely fucked. I've got loads of energy, but I've just taken it all out on that glute session and I feel full but tired, so probably feel better after this. So just got back from work, and you can see here my assortment of goods. So pretty much the same as yesterday. I have chicken with this meal now. Oh, you can see the dog. It's obviously hungry for my food. So I have 95 grams of chicken, 100 grams of 10% broccoli, and then 400 grams of potatoes. Obviously I put them separate as well because I don't want the potatoes to go soggy from the chicken and the broccoli. I'm a bit like weird like that. And then on top I have 30 grams of cheese, mozzarella just sprinkled on top, so it's like cheesy chips basically. And then as always, a little bit of sugar-free ketchup. What's a dig? Last meal, unfortunately, so I'm just gonna appreciate this last meal while I have it, and then tomorrow back to the grind. But literally, like I said, similar to yesterday, just less of it. So we have 200 grams of 0% Greek yogurt, 50 grams of frozen raspberries, and then I just drizzled 10 grams of 85% dark chocolate on top. So I just melt that like a block of chocolate in a ceramic dish in the microwave till it goes runny, and then I drizzle it on top. Don't know why, but tempered chocolate, like melted chocolate, always tastes better and you get a lot more volume. So that's just one block of chocolate, dark chocolate, so that's 10 grams. When you're dieting, volume is key. Then I have 80 grams of chocolate cocoa rock things there, and again in my massive mug that's bigger than my head, black decaf tea. And that finishes my 2-day refeed. Crying. I think I said yesterday, like, I was worried I might not be able to eat the food. Don't know why I said that, because I've never had an issue eating all that food, but obviously your stomach shrinks when you diet, so I was like, oh, I might not be able to eat all of that. I could have eaten that 20 times over and it wouldn't have even touched the sides. But it's quite interesting because obviously a lot of people struggle post-show with binging and stuff. Obviously I've never done a show, but I have struggled with binging in the past before, and I mentioned in a few videos back I used to struggle with an eating disorder. It wasn't a binge eating disorder, it was anorexia. So I'll put some photos on the screen of what I used to look like, because it is a bit crazy, the difference. But I think this is why I really do struggle with dieting. Not so much like I tick all the boxes, I do it, but just mentally I really do get really triggered when I diet, in terms of, because all the habits I used to do when I was having an eating disorder, you know, black coffee, you know, fast for as long as I can, so pretty much starve myself, eat low calorie things, high expenditure, it's all triggering me from when I was younger and I used to do that. And also just how I look visually, like, you know, like, I will never think I'm big, I will never think I'm muscly at all, I will always want to be bigger, but how I look now, I just feel like so skinny, so gaunt, so like thin, and obviously seeing the scales drop after spending 5-6 years, you know, getting in a recovering, getting in a healthy spot physically, mentally, it really does trigger me. Obviously I know I'm asking to do this, I do want to do this, but this is why I get so like in my own head sometimes, like I have no muscle, like I just go back to how I like 12-year-old Amira, of being anorexic, being skinny, being 5 stone again, and it really does trigger me, and that's why I get so like, I've worked so hard to overcome those habits, and don't get me wrong, like I'm not in that headspace that I used to be, and it's definitely controlled, it's definitely a lot better, but in terms of just seeing myself just get smaller and shrink when I spent 6 years pretty much bulking, it is really like challenging, I'd say, and it's definitely made me realize a lot. Maybe realize that, you know, I'm not as healed as I think I am, and I've definitely got more work to do, but I don't think that ever goes away, to be honest. I think that will always remain a part of me. You know, I've self-harmed since I was like 12, and I always say that like those thoughts never go away, you know, not to get deeper or anything, and I might touch on this if some people resonate with it and some people might benefit from me speaking about it and how I got over it, but those thoughts are always there, you know, when I'm having shitty days, you know, that's always in the back of my head. It's just you mature and you learn better ways to deal with it, or better ways to like shut off the voices and like cope in a healthier way, and that's why now it just like takes you back to when I was younger and all those bad nasty things I used to like say myself and do, all sort of like come creeping back, and you know, the only things that I really enjoy in life is food, and is training, and obviously when those things are taken away from me, it can get quite dark. I can go to like a dark place. I'm very grateful for, you know, the people I have around me, you know. I'm fine now, touch wood. I mean, getting there slowly, I wouldn't say fine, but like I was saying, like, God, I go on such a tangent, don't I just have so much to talk about and no one to say it to, so I'm just saying it to a camera. But oh my God, what was I saying? Yeah, I never really think those thoughts go away. You just learn to deal with it better, and, you know, find better ways, better coping mechanisms. And that's not to say that like you'll never heal. I just think healing is an ongoing process that never stops. There's never like an end goal. You're always learning things about yourself. You're always getting better. You're always discovering new trauma that you need to heal. So, and I think it helps hearing that sometimes, because it takes the pressure off this end goal of like, I need to be healed, I need to be fine. I'm just gonna leave it there because I could waffle forever, but my point was like, healing's a journey, you know. I'm only 23, I've got a long way to go in terms of like bodybuilding, recovery, healing, but from where I was like when I was 12 and I suffered with suicidal thoughts, anorexia, mental health, eating disorders, whatever, to be where I am now and still alive and breathing is such a big win for me. And yes, I have a long way to go, but I have just come so far, so I'm very proud of myself for that. But every day is a learning curve, and this is really challenging for me mentally. Yes, obviously I'm asking to do this, but it's definitely a journey that I'm discovering new things about myself that I actually didn't realise. So I'm very grateful to be on this journey. But yeah, I will post what I look like on the next slide, post 2-day refeed, and then next week the day continues and more exciting things coming, so stay tuned for that. And as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next week.